On Thursday night, baby. Almost the weekend. And we have yet another special guest. You're Canadian as well. You guys are. Please introduce yourselves, man. And
My name is Sim G. I'm the singer, the vocalist, and guitarist for the band Lancaster, based out in Quebec City. And glad to be on your show finally. And we had a chance to meet a little bit before, but glad to do this live with y'all, man.
no, yeah, man, it's an honor. Fuck, you guys. I got to finally hear a bunch of music today, like actually sit down after work. We were done a bit earlier than we thought. And
Right on.
the first song I heard by you guys, Train, that's the new one you just had come out, is it not?
Actually, no. This has been
No?
our flag bearing song for so long. Actually, this
Yeah,
was
for real?
yeah, for real. Actually, this was the first one we had recorded with the little intro there, and no, we've been pumping this one since actually the song was written when we had just met Dave Meister, the bass man. We had just met together, and it was like our second or third jam. And I mean, he just left out this riff, and I was, I hear it by the ear, and I'm like, hey, this is an interesting riff, man. Do that again. And I mean, fuck, by the end of the night, the song was already written. It was just a beautiful moment.
Oh, fuck. That's awesome. Because, yeah, that was the first one that came up on the list. And it was like, oh, I'll click on this. And then, but
Right on.
Roxy has now joined us. Please introduce
Hello.
yourself, hon.
Hi, top of the morning to you. So I'm in Cebu City, Philippines right now, and the time is 10 past 9 in the morning, and I just literally got off work, so I'm so sorry if I'm a little bit late.
It's
But
all good.
anyway, it's so nice to see you two gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
I can't complain, but I do.
All right, could you
Yeah.
please, I'm not entirely sure what you do, but could you please tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I stated I'm the singer guitarist from Lancaster, and we're going
Lancaster,
on Lancaster. Yeah, we took the name of
California?
no,
No,
actually
no,
Quebec
the name of the
City,
band.
Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great. Okay. Please continue.
No, that's my bad. I gave her no information, nothing. Just said, hey, what are you doing? Come on the show. All right.
No,
Yay.
man, it's all good.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, how long have you been doing it? And yeah, we'd really love to know more about you. And I'm
Right,
sure your fans as well.
right on. So yeah, we've actually been somewhat media shy since the beginning. But Lancaster's is an outfit. We're a power trio. We consider ourselves, I guess, this new term is new wave of traditional heavy metal. I guess is probably the most accurate description of our style. Meaning we touch on the old school Judas Priest stuff, but
Oh, Judas
Painkiller
Priest.
and Slayer influences, and
Oh, Slayer.
sometimes no, it's Megadeth's kind of comes out here and there, and no, so
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, traditional heavy metal,
Yeah.
and we're a power trio, and we're often told that we sound like we're five guys on stage, but we're only three, and obviously a heavy Motorhead attitude influence. So
I got
you
the
know,
Motorhead attitude with the one song that I heard. I was just chilling out, having a beer after work, and it come on the list because I just shuffled through your whole thing, right? And
right?
yeah, I was like, "Fuck the Metallica, Megadeth, yeah, Motorhead." It's right up
Yeah,
there with that. Like as far as your style goes and the way it smooths the song through, right?
right on.
Right.
No, thanks, PA. So no, we've been rolling. The band has exists for like 3 years now, and I'd say 2 years. And even then, we had a recent line change with our drummer, so I guess like the band is like truly like a year old. We had started doing stuff right before COVID hit, and
Oh
ended up
man.
getting a new guy in, and he just brought us to another level. So I we're actually kind of reborn once since everything's kind of coming back. So it's the name has been rolling for a few years, but for the band that actually has, the true lineup that it is now is maybe about a year old. And like I said, we're working on an album, and we're going to be releasing it. We're hoping for a September 18th when we start our tour, the breakout tour. We're going to be with Last Dance Among Wolves and Shanghai and Afflicts Me Very and all this noise. So it's going to be a chance to...
Actually, Last Dance Amongst Wolves, they're really good friends of mine too. I was just down with them with Dead Man's Prophecy, celebrating Dead Man's Prophecy thing there when they won the Metal Montreal thing there.
Yeah, the Quebec Rock Contest
people.
there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Bose, tell us a little bit more about that time that you spent in Montreal. Like, you guys were just hanging out with Dead Man's Prophecy. I mean, that's what he usually does. He just hangs out with bands, gets to know them, and then they have a bond, and that's just how he is. So tell us about that.
Well, I'm very in-person, I like to eat dinner, eat with people, have drinks with people, get to know them, and that personal experience with those people, because the passion they put down behind their music, such as yourselves and Dead Man's Prophecy, Last Dance Amongst Wolves, Late Night Troubles, and I could go on and on with band names, but to just sit down and chill with these people, to know that they're just like I am in that sense, but yet they're producing all this music that I listen to, and it influences me throughout my age, It's pretty amazing, actually. Tell you the truth, almost surreal. You know what I mean?
That's fantastic. I mean, the kind of art and effort and feelings and emotions that they put into like a song, and most of the best bands that I've heard, they would say that the song just pretty much wrote itself. That they did not really have to put like so much effort into coming up with that song, but it just came out, and it's something that they would like to share with the world, right? Yeah. So is that
you have to share that with the world, right? Like, that's why I do the show. My passion for music and supporting your local artists. Like buying your merch, buying those CDs from these people, because Metallica used to be just a fucking garage band, like Slayer used to play little tiny gigs, little bars. Fuck, they still played little bars when I seen them on their world final tour. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, fucking A. It's just it's something that you live or you don't. I mean, this is not something it was. How can I say this? I mean, it was like Rob Zombie says, you don't meet this guy who says he was fan for Slayer during, a summer. He's got fucking Slayer carved into his arm, So
yeah, like that was.
It's a lifestyle, right? It's a lifestyle. So no. It's something that some people will never understand, and it doesn't matter. It's just, I absolutely share the sentiment where, jumping from city to city and chilling and drinking with people in bars and just always being on the fly. No.
Being on the band, you hit the road, say, across Canada, man. You know how many people you meet, how many people you talk to, right? Like,
I know.
It's unreal.
And you always learn something new. It's pretty. It's great stuff. No.
Yeah. So, if let's say there was a band that you could imitate when it comes to sound, who would it be?
Yeah, I'd have to say, like, probably Motorhead.
Yeah, that would be one. I would be Tool. Like,
Tool.
I just love how Tool flows mathematically on paper. To even look at it, it's gorgeous music,
Right. No, I've got a raw chaos side. It's got a, light a fire under my ass or something like that. Like, makes me want to throw rocks at windows and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said that you have other band members, right? Where are they now?
Actually, Dave Meister and Lefty. Lefty's the drummer. Dave Meister's the bassist. Their English isn't that great, so they didn't want to be pressured into having to do this interview in English, and at the same time, they've
Yeah.
got children, so they life routine and all this noise. So I'm here representing. I speak for them no matter what.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight,
so
though,
much.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. Seriously,
and
and thank you for having me.
right.
Oh, of course,
So
man.
I do have a special question for you though. If there was one thing that would define your band apart from the rest, what would it be? Not just
That's
aside
a
from the fact that music is your passion. That
no, no, no,
um,
no. We're well. I mean, first off, we're a power trio, and you don't see that as much now. So
No.
that's definitely one of our, right off the bat, that's what you'll notice about us. Also, is our how can I say this clearly? We're trying to trailblaze our own kind of sound, especially our mix, our own influences. Everybody really brings in their piece, and we have a very large, spectrum of musical taste that we bring into the music that we do. And also,
mhm,
we tend to blur lines. We're not style specific, and I think that really pops out from our music. Is that we in our live set we'll go from heavy metal a la Slayer, and then our next song is like old school blues, like Muddy Waters meets fucking it's all Megadeth. It's a weird spectrum. So I mean, obviously, we're not in these, these major, these minor scales, or doing a lot of arpeggio stuff and all this noise. We're just rocking out
Hmm.
hard and you know, just moving shit.
no, that's so
Well,
cool.
that's where that passion comes from. It really shows in the music that I heard today that you guys have done. So then kudos to you for putting it out there.
Yeah, thanks. And it's in the lyrics too. I mean, I really love like Rhapsody of Fire and all this noise. It's just I don't relate to it as much. Like I said,
Hmm.
I'll listen to some the lyrics of like Road Crew from Motorhead, and I mean I can relate to that shit, me hardcore to being on the road and
Yeah.
living the hard life but having a good time doing it. Let's say, and
Well, people don't realize what life on the road is. Whether you drive truck, you're a band member. Myself
yeah,
working, fuck, I'm never home, man. Like, I don't even really
exactly,
have a home technically,
right,
because I'm gone so much. Whether it's work or on tour, following a concert, you know what I mean? Like, it just,
right.
it's a hard road, man. It's definitely a hard life for sure. And
It's it's a calling,
it's
right? It's not something you wake
yeah.
up and you say, "Oh, I'm going to do this." No, you do it because this is what you love doing, and you're going to do it
Hmm.
anyways.
Yeah, if you want to be a rock star, go take $20 a day and try and travel across the U.S. because
Yeah,
that's what it's like to be a
Actually, man,
fucking
that is
rock
so
star.
fucking true. I swear.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
I mean, okay, so if there was a band that you could tour with, who would it be? Except Motorhead, because you already said Motorhead earlier.
Yeah, and they don't well, they fucking died. So I mean, Lemmy's
They're
dead. So
Oh
they
yeah, like
they what got me into metal, man. I must say, the first album, heavy metal album I ever heard, Ace
fuck,
of
man.
Spades. I'll say it
Uh,
over and over again, man. Lenny fucking Motorhead are
Fucking
the
Lemmy
best.
Kilmister, man. Fucking I got him on the
Yeah,
head.
him and his shorty shorts,
Yeah,
drinking
no, I
Jack.
say
You know,
right.
if there was a band that
gotta
I
love
could
that.
tour with, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, obviously, I'd go with my my personal choices. Like, I'd love to go with like Megadeth or do some shit with fucking, At the end of the day, we'll take whoever wants to tour with us. But if I had the choice, yeah, I'd love to be on the road with bands like Megadeth and uh, these old giants, I guess, if you can call them that way.
Old giants. What
Yeah.
do you mean by old giants? Are we
Well,
talking about?
like I said, Metallica, the Big Sis and
Love you too,
Testament and all
man.
this nice. These guys really, kind of wrote the book on true heavy metal there, and you've got the, I mean, the size of their operations. I mean, like, I play in a band, but I also work in booking with a small indie label. And me and TJ,
Oh,
me and Bones, we met through JMPQ,
yeah,
which is metal media out here in Quebec. And,
yeah.
say, sorry. And Anyways, I forgot my train of thought. Fuck.
That's all good. But that's how we met, though. Yeah, it was through metal. Oh fuck! Now I fucking forgot.
Okay, so
Right.
let's try to get back on track. Have you guys got any merch, and tell us where to find?
Yeah, definitely. We've got merch. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. We've got stickers and patches and back patches for your metal vests and for your battle vests and shit like that. We've got t-shirts. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're working on some new stuff where we wanted to get ball caps and stuff like that coming. Honestly, if somebody wants some stuff, just hit us up on internet. We don't have a website yet, so our Facebook is just rolling, and we're kind of lazy on that aspect. I'll be honest. We're really a road band, so
Yeah.
we that we need somebody to deal. We need to hire somebody to do that because we're clearly lacking in this domain. But yeah, anybody who wants some shirts, we got t-shirts, stickers, patches, and a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, hit us up.
Oh,
on
that's
Facebook.
awesome, man.
Okay, so they just please let them know what your Facebook account is so that they could get in there and.
We're Lancaster Metal on Facebook. So Lancaster Metal and Lancaster like the plane or the place. Some people put land, but it's not. It's LANCASTER.
No, it's LAN.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because actually, we took the name of the bomber, the British bomber that was built in Canada, because initially the band had been created by me and another guy, and we're ex-military. So we.
Cool.
Yeah, so anyways, we ended up we were thinking about band names and all this noise, and we ended up falling on Lancaster, and we thought, yeah, this is, especially I tend to write, my lyrics, especially on a couple songs, are very, militaristic, so they're very military oriented, or they talk about war and stuff like that. Huh? So, it was a nice fit. So Lancaster Metal on Facebook. We have an Instagram, Lancaster Metal. We're on Twitter, apparently, Lancaster Metal. So hit us up anywhere on these. And anyways, like I said, we're going on the road, and we'll plug our shit left and right at the end. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, it's September 25th. I know for sure you're at the Maverick. But you guys are on the Breakout tour. That's basically something you guys put together too, is it not?
Yeah, exactly. We had been wanting to go do some shows with Last Dance Among Wolves and Dead Man's Prophecy and these guys, and Randy and I always ended up talking with Maxime Gimbal and Maxime Buffon.
Oh,
and,
huge shout out to Maxime. That's my brother right there, man. Him and I are fucking like this.
Fucking A, yeah. Right? Shout out to Max. So anyways, I ended up talking with him, and I'm like, you know what? We're going on the road anyways. Do you guys want to hook up something? And he's like, yeah, sure, go for it. So anyways, it started with Ottawa, and I'm like, fuck, we're talking with the boys, and we're like, fuck, we could turn this into a tour like we wanted to before COVID, and now we can't, so fuck it, let's do it. And pulled out some resources, started booking cities left and right, and now we're trying to wrap up the last 2 dates, which would either be Barrie in Ontario or probably try
Barrie would be sweet. I'm like 20 minutes from Barrie when I'm at home.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right.
Yeah, no, I tried to get in contact with Queens over there, and I think they're only like booking Thursdays, something like that. So it kind of makes it difficult for a band that has work and shit like that. Huh?
Yeah.
We ended up spearheading the tour since we were leaving, because we're releasing our first LP very soon, and we wanted to go promote the thing. So we ended up bringing up these guys, Last Dance, Shanghai, and we all know each other from Quebec City, and we're all good buddies. So it was just a natural fit.
That's awesome.
So our mentality was, we're gonna go everywhere we can, and those who follow. Those who can't, we'll hit you up in another city, and that'll be it. So no, we're super stoked to get on the road. We're doing a show this Saturday at l'Epiphanie. It's a rock fest for mental health, so it's gonna be a killer. It's gonna be a really killer show. So.
I think friends of mine from Late Night Trouble, I think they're heading over to that. That's like a festival, is it not?
Yeah, there's two of them, though. It's kind of goofy. Yeah. You've got Rock La Cause, which is in Victo, which is also a mental health rock festival. Yeah. And then on the same weekend, there's Rock Fest pour la Santé Mentale, which is at l'Epiphanie. It's the same kind of concept, just two different shows, two different cities.
Oh
And
wow.
I mean, people were asking, "Oh, which city are you at?" And everybody's mixed up or whatever. So no, we're at
I'll have
l'Epiphanie,
to
which is
yeah, I'll find out which one she's going to, man. Fucking, they're a
yeah,
great
for
band.
sure. But I
They're
think
playing actually at my birthday bash, which is gonna
Yeah,
be private invite, fantastic fucking show, man.
nice, fucking
I
right.
yeah, we'll
got
be there.
Late Night Trouble, The Electric Dead, and One in the Chamber.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, they're pretty local. I got Late Night Troubles from you guys over in Montreal. One in the Chambers from Toronto, which is local for me, and then I brought in Electric Dead from Niagara Falls. And they're all
nice.
gonna do a great show. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's killer. No, we're like I said, we're so stoked to get back on the friggin' road, man.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting. So, what's the first? Where's your first show then? Like,
All
where's your
right,
first show you're playing?
the first one's gonna be a killer operation. It's gonna be never before. We're trying to make it like a never before seen thing. We're pulling all stops and sparing no expense. All right, so we're starting at
Yeah,
Quartier de Lune in Quebec City, downtown Quebec City.
I know that place.
Yeah, that's such a
Yeah,
great
man.
bar, and we're pretty tight with the owner. So, anyways, as we were talking before backstage, the guys from Dead Man's Prophecy who won this year's edition of the Quebec Rock
Hmm.
Contest. Turns out I was video director in that organization. So,
No way.
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, exactly. And then the rock contest ended up doing the whole COVID thing, streaming live bands, and I mean,
Hmm.
massive investment. We're talking like $60,000 worth of cameras and gear and stuff like that. So, anyways, we ended up moving and installing permanently au Quartier de Lune. So
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
we've got access to the gear. So through GMPQ, as guys, there were a couple of hosts there and doing our thing avec GMPQ, avec Kevin Lepuel and all this noise. We're going to have a whole bunch of hosts, and we're going to really try to do a kind of like a sports style coverage of our first show. So 3 bands are going to be streamed free online, live interviews, and I mean,
Oh,
we're going to try to make it, a true, like I said, the Olympics of heavy metal.
yeah, that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
really
that's
good
awesome.
concept. Yeah, I don't think anything like that has ever been done before.
Right.
Um,
Well, it's because during the rock contest, there was a lot of stream shows, and I mean, you
Hmm.
were watching these gigs, and I mean, yeah, it's fun, but obviously there's something missing. But anybody who's ever seen like a live hockey game from the Habs or the Leafs, the experience behind the screen is not the same. It has to be something different. And while me and the boss of the rock contest were talking about streaming and how everything's working and all this noise, we were a couple of shows in the events, and that's what I was thinking. It was a philosophy we started thinking where the coverage of the show has to be different or more intense. It has to give a different feel than just capturing the show, where I mean, you're at home and
Yeah,
after a half hour you kind of clock out, right?
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So we were trying to make it so that like in sports, where in between a song, maybe a host is gonna say just a couple of words and then call the song, and then the switch in the cameras. There's
A
always something
play-by-play
happening.
go, right?
yeah,
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
Right,
So
because there have been so far. I mean, the world shut down around about like a year and a half ago, and people have just been staying at home. So
right.
now this is definitely the time to get into it with a shovel and not a spoon. Like really, really, really dig into it, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
yeah, I mean, it's. I think that it's going
You
to
got
be
to
a
almost double down now. Like everything is got to be reinvented in that sense on how we're going to proceed from now on, right? Like
Right,
it won't
exactly.
ever go back to normal in that sense where you're going to have 400,000 people. I don't know. It's hard to imagine nowadays, right? But
Yeah, it's a weird dissonance, right? I have faith that it'll come back to somewhat normal, but I think there's a digital aspect now where
hmm
if you can broadcast your show live, it acts as such a great publicity maker for bands. And I mean, being
yeah,
able to offer that as a
being
service nowadays would be just absolutely amazing.
yeah, that would be
hmm
fantastic. Yeah.
It
Oh,
you can go
yeah.
worldwide on a touch of a button, such as ourselves right now. Boof, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So there's something good to. I mean, you can do something with this. So very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, we've got a couple of guests who just want to say hi. We've got Michael Draven. Hello, Draven. And we've also got Simon Nadu. I hope I said that right. And Kevin Moore, of course, Kevin. I mean, like, Kevin is just
Yeah.
phenomenal. He's in
Number one
every
fan,
single
baby.
show. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Draven as well. Like, lately, ever since he became part of the Boneyard, he's always been, like, in every single show. He's also one of the co hosts. And let me see.
Yeah, we've had
got
him on a few
David
times
Meister.
helping us out.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
David says hi. Yeah. So for the people just got in, could you just say hi and give them like tell them what the name of your band is and like 3 things that people should know about your band.
Oh, you can't get enough of self-publicity, man. Fucking.
No,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
No, my name is Sim G. I'm the singer guitarist of the band Lancaster. We're based out of Quebec City. 3 things you got to know about us: we drink heavily, we party hardy, but
Yeah.
our music is a goddamn tank. So we'll shake shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't wait to come back up to
Could you
Quebec once I'm done this
elaborate
job.
on
I got a couple days off. I'll be
Right.
up your way, man. I'll be probably seeing Dave for sure while I'm up there up in Louisville, right, from Dead Man's
Right.
Prophecy. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
just
A.
said,
look
like,
up for some beers.
Fucking A.
I
No,
don't
just
know. I
hit
mean,
us up. No.
I can't drink beer. I mean, I have the spirits, really. I think I drink about like half a liter of 40% rum here in the
Right.
Philippines. Yeah, like on a daily basis. It's just part of my diet, really. But then beer,
Oh, she's
hmm,
literally on the other
Oh,
side of the world.
yeah, that's wild. No, we're beer drinkers. Well, we drink liquor.
It's Canadian.
So whatever comes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we
So
do, but
from whiskey
Canadian
to beer
thing
to
is
wine.
beer.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
French Canadians, a lot of wine here and there.
hey, you can't
Oh,
argue
and
with
here's
wine, though, man.
right, but here's another beer lover. We've got John David, who, by the way, is also going to be in the Boneyard. That's going to be August the 17th at 9 p.m., if I got that right.
Yep, that's
And he
correct.
said that
Yeah,
I
yeah, it
can't
is.
turn down a beer or a spirit. I may have a problem. No, it's okay. You don't have a problem. You're just evolving. Just like
There
the
you
rest
go.
of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, here's
So,
Charlotte from XX Mayberry. Looking forward to meeting you guys on the 25th. She's actually playing with you guys up there at the
Yeah,
Maverick.
exactly. And I think they're also joining us in Trois-Rivières.
Oh,
That
fuck,
would
right on.
be the 16th of October, I think. I think they're joining
Oh,
us,
that
and
one I can make. I'll
that would be
put that in the
crazy.
calendar now and make sure I'm there for that one.
We've got Kingston November 6th. And like I said, we're working on trying to get Cornwall to Barrie, but they're hard
Yeah.
places to reach. So
Cornwall,
okay,
we do a
so
lot of work up there. Actually, we're
Oh,
up there for a bit. Yeah. We were
Yeah,
up in
there's-
Delta not long ago.
oh,
That's
okay,
right on the border there, too, yeah.
Yeah, fucking right.
all right. So, if there were parts of Southeast Asia that you could go to, where would it be?
Okay, can you say that again?
If there were parts of Southeast Asia that
Oh.
you guys could perform at, where would it be? Japan?
If we're talking like specifically Southeast, probably obviously like Vietnam, Philippines, Australia. Fucking right, Australia would be in there. New Zealand. I mean, I'd play China just because I think I'd probably get thrown out or put in prison just because I'd fuck with them a bit. But this is
yeah,
the
no, I
communist
hear you
thing.
there, man.
But
need
no,
a chaperone.
Japan, Korea. I honestly, I'd go to Korea just to go see a fucking K-pop band and see what the hubbub's all about, and just
Oh,
just to just go see the other side of the coin, just so I can say, okay, I've seen it, I've done it, whatever. But yeah. Literally, I'd do them all, man. I'd do the whole goddamn world left and right. If I could travel through music, man, my life would be made. I could die like really happy. So
Yeah,
I mean, like I
that's
don't
what
want to
I'm
go to
trying.
Mexico and a Club Med and be a tourist or whatever. No, I want to go to, in the cities and talk to people and gig and, rock
Yeah,
out a bunch of people. Yeah.
For sure.
experience the actual like off the fucking resort as they would call it. I guess like
Right.
when we were in Cuba, man. I was barely on the resort the first year I was there. We
Yes.
were gone. Like, I gotta go, man. Like, I'm going to the local place here to have beers. I'm going there. We took the cab ride in, 45-minute cab ride to the next major city.
Yeah.
Fucking partied it up there.
Yeah, that's it, man. And it's just you meet people that are so interesting, and I mean, it's
Hmm.
just I don't know, and like I said, it comes from like my army years where I find an odd pleasure in staying in a city 1, 2 nights and then gone.
Where were
Then
you? Were
Yeah.
you at Afghanistan, or
no,
was it?
from no, actually, I only did domestic operations. I was in for 10 years, and
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Canadian
So
military, correct?
yeah, Canadians, excuse me, I didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
'cause, I
interesting.
had
That's not bad.
yeah.
Nobody wants to go fucking overseas, man. Not
So
with the
yeah,
military.
it's
you know.
it's an odd relationship. There's so many parallels with music, but I mean, it's a weird
Hmm.
love hate thing. Anyways, it's a whole discussion in and
It's
of
almost
itself.
Could you say it's kind of the same bond between like your bands and your bandmates when you're on the road as it is on that
Yeah,
military thing? Does that make it a little
yeah,
easier to transition into that?
yeah. There's definitely a parallel to be made because I mean, when you're on the road or whatever, you're living things that are completely unique to these people that you're doing it with, right? I mean,
Hmm.
you're sleeping next to each other, you're suffering together, you're having fun together. Everything is done in that
Hmm.
manner. So obviously, you end up creating these really strong bonds through, and I mean that's why some people end up wanting to kill each other because they end up becoming incompatible. It happens, but
Yeah,
no,
you can't
especially like
bond with everybody, right?
no, exactly.
You
But
know.
I think the three of us that were in from Lancaster, I think we're gonna have quite a ball. And no, everybody's got their own little. We mesh well, so
No, that's
it's a
great
really
to
good
hear, man.
experience.
I
Yeah,
got a
man.
quick question though. What are some of the other local bands that you guys are listening to in your area that you got to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Your Last Wish, and I
They're
think
awesome, man. I love them,
yeah.
but
Shout out to Roxana. I'm a big fan
oh,
of the Flaying.
100%.
The Flaying, I love these guys. I mean, true death metal. These guys are hard as can be. And then, I mean, we've got guys like Shanghai. I mean, they're on tour with us. I somewhat enjoy their
Hmm.
music. And this, I say somewhat, but no, I do enjoy their music. But and obviously, Dead Man's Prophecy. I mean, like
Yeah.
I was part of the. I was part of the organizing team for the rock contest, and we had our eyes on them the whole goddamn contest. Just, I mean,
Oh
cheering
yeah,
them
when
on in the
I
back. The fuck, and
showed
there's
up
also I
at
shout out
Dave's
to these
door,
guys called
fucking
Change My Brain with Cakes. I hit these guys up. They're actually pretty intense.
What?
Nice
Change your brain with cakes? What?
change. Yeah, they're called Change My Brain with Cakes. They find them
Oh,
on Facebook, and
okay.
they've got a peculiar style, but I invite everybody to go check them out. They've got interesting stuff. So yeah,
Change my
those
brain
are some bits.
with like cakes. When you say cakes, as in cakes and pastries, that sort of
Cakes, as in like cupcakes and cakes and
space
takes the cake.
cakes and like yeah, I get you. All right, that's so cool. Okay, so if you could collaborate with one band, just like one band, aside from Motorhead, who would it be? Like and the newer generation
gotta throw
after
that
the
in
year
there, right?
2000. Yeah, after the
After the
year
year
2000,
2000, yeah.
who would it
I
be?
would love to do something, especially with a band like Lamb of God. I love their just in your face brutalness, and I love that.
Yeah.
There's no sadness to it, if I can say it that way. It's just
Yeah,
just unadulterated, and that's I love that stuff. So
yeah. They make walking in hell sound like going to an amusement park. Actually, if you listen.
It's just
That's not like walking in hell. I mean,
I
walking
find
in.
it so powerful. I find it so. Songs like "Break You" and no, you got some heavy stuff right there. I love that. That's why I'm a big Slayer fan. It's just because it's intense. It's not
Yeah,
sad. It's just high intensity power, high energy. It's just good
in your
stuff. That's why
face.
that's why I'm a big fan of like Cro-Mags and Exploited and punk music too. And I'm a big punk fan.
I
So
found we just had Deadwood on the show, man. The band from
yeah,
up in Montreal way. They're fucking coming out. They're pretty brutal, man. Intense in your face. Pretty
yeah,
heavy,
man.
man. It's nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, hey, I'll shout out. I've got two shows. Well, not us like Lancaster, but I organize some gigs here and there, and we've got Dead Wolf coming in October, 23rd of October. They're going to be all over the place during autumn, but yeah, in Quebec City. They're a pretty cool old school rock band, hard rock metal, or kind of fit with us. We may be playing with them in Sherbrooke on the 22nd
Oh,
before
that's awesome.
just before the Ramonville, the 23rd. So and check these guys out. And Snow, there's War Amp. They're from Montreal. They're a punk band from kind of like
War. What was that? I'm sorry. War.
War Amp.
AMP.
Oh,
Yeah, A Alpha Mike Papa.
Okay, so War,
perfect.
as in Whiskey Alpha Romeo, and then Alpha
Yeah,
Mike Papa.
that's it.
Hmm.
War Amp.
Okay.
That's it.
War. All right.
Yeah, no, check these guys out. It's a really cool punk from Montreal. So yeah, no, I'm
No,
gonna
awesome.
I'm gonna repeat myself, but yeah, Sherbrooke, October 22nd, de Ramonville, October 23rd we're with good buddies, Ageless Madness over there with their buddies Danny
Oh,
Marchais, good people. So it's gonna be a killer lineup the whole fucking tour, man.
Yeah, no,
fuck, that's awesome, man.
really. And oh, by the
So
way,
nice to hear a show and a tour. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
Finally, something's
right.
happening.
Mm.
Something's up. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we've got a few people who we need to send some shout outs to. We've got Yannick Brazard who says hello, friends. Hello, Yannick, and Samantha. Hmm, she has something interesting to say, and she's sending this out to Draven. She said, "Hello, Draven," and I'm just going to leave it at that. But then John David, the guy that we are going to be having on come the 17th, he has something to say. He said that, can I say, if you're looking at death metal, my little brother is the guitarist of Apocalypse Pony, a death metal band located in Phoenix, Arizona. And they have videos on YouTube. So, yeah, that's definitely something that we are going to be talking
That's right
about
on.
in a couple of
Cool.
minutes. Yeah.
Well, I love this show, man. I've found so much music, like it's unbelievable how much music we've had on the show. Like before
How,
Amanda kind of stepped back to take care of Sofa City Sounds and do the book story and all
yeah,
that to get caught up. Fuck, we did 89 fucking bands together, man.
that's
That is like
wild.
2.5 months or some shit like that.
That's wild. How long have you guys been doing this?
I've been doing the Boneyard for 5 years, almost 6 years now. It wasn't always this though. Like I used to just drink beer and make bullets and shoot guns. If you go back on the original videos, And then one day, a friend of mine gave me an idea. She's like, "Why don't you interview bands?" And I was like, "On it." So about 8 months ago, probably a year now, I guess it'd be. I started actually just focusing on music, and then. Very first band I interviewed was in Phoenix, Arizona. So I drove down there. It took me 4 days to get there. Interviewed them, and then worked my way across the states. And my second real band was actually Your Last Wish, and I ended my
Nice.
trip in Montreal and had them on
Yeah,
the
right.
show. And then
Yeah, that's when
it was
you
fuck
swung by.
fantastic.
That's why you swung by the brewery there.
Oh yeah, man, that was fantastic.
Oh
Little
yeah.
shout out to them. They're fucking I'm trying to remember the name now. There's a bunch of bands that are on
Malco. It
there.
was Malco with the Lager
Yeah,
Live.
yeah. Lager Life, baby, yeah.
That's it.
They're
Fucking right.
fantastic people there too, man. I showed up, a couple friends of mine and stuff. They gave us a little tours, got
Nice.
to buy some beers. They gave us some little samples and shit. Fantastic place. And they
Yeah, I
support the
know.
local bands too, which is fantastic, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't
like,
argue with that.
you could just remember back in like the late 80s to the early 90s. I mean, bands were just, they were just bashing each other basically. Like, let's take for example Guns N' Roses as well as Nirvana. They were always like
Hmm.
hating each other, and that really should not be the way that it is, because
No.
um, in itself, music is very hard to get out. I mean,
Right.
most of the people do not realize that musicians really make their way through merch, and that's, it's not really through concerts or anything like that. It's not through the exposure, but it's more on merch. And what
Mm.
sucks is that if you've got good merch but your music sucks, people would buy your merch and you would make more money compared to people who actually have better music than you. So yeah, but
Yeah,
then
it's
that's just what I, yeah, I could be wrong though.
no, it's an honest opinion because I mean, well, a the road aspect of life is still there for bands, and I mean, like you said, you can have crazy merch, but no, I think it's like a multi-pronged way to see things where everything you have to put everything on the table or else. I mean, like us, our problem, we have a lot of problems of just, well, we're lazy on social media, but I mean, we see other bands that, I mean, are just brutally active. And I mean, it shows, man, they get tons of exposure and stuff like that. Like I said,
Hmm.
we're a road band. We like getting on the road, and that's how we get our likes and shit like that. But I mean,
That's
no,
live show.
yeah, right. No,
Like it's the
it's an
same
unbalance.
reason I do the show here live too. Like I don't pre-record, I don't fucking edit nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You know what
that's
I
why.
like? I'm that kind of lazy in that. It's no different than the band getting on stage and fucking nailing that note or bombing that fucking show, right? Like
Right,
we're
exactly.
fucking live. That's how music should be presented, and that's how music should be played. You know, like
Yeah, no,
I
Yeah.
yeah,
think.
you've seen some interesting phenomenons from bands, especially like during COVID, that were able to produce, separately, actually release some material and stuff like that. And I mean, they haven't even played a gig. They're not that they've never played a gig, but their music has never been
Yeah,
played live, and it makes for interesting dynamics. And like I said, I see it as a toolbox. Yeah, being on the road and having merch as a set of tools, and using social media as another set of tools for a band. And then it's, not being an asshole and meeting cool people and all this noise. So
yeah,
you become friends, and then you exchange bands and stuff like that. You trade shows and stuff like that with bands and meet and all this noise. It's I mean,
it's
you
a
meet
real
some people.
community.
Yeah, exactly right. And then I mean, I think you don't have a choice. I mean, I mean, we don't live in an age now where you had these massive labels walking around looking for bands in these specific bars. If you played the Whiskey Go Go in Cali,
Yeah,
you probably
The
had a
go-go,
recording.
right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably had a
yeah,
recording deal at the end of the night. But I mean, it's that reality isn't there now. You've got a gig and got to show the label that you're worth being invested in, and it's a lot of indie stuff is happening now as well. So it's a new
yeah.
landscape, right? So
No, it's almost being rewritten in that sense, which I think is going to come out better because, especially for our
yeah,
smaller artists or independent bands and shit,
it just
it's a
it
whole
makes
new
everything
game
more
now.
available. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. No, 100%, man, it does.
yeah, for sure. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Any other questions, Roxy?
hmm. Have you guys ever covered anyone?
The
And
Ramones.
oh,
Yeah. It started out kind of.
wow.
It was we ended up playing Blitzkrieg Up. So we were jamming one night, and then
Wow.
we started fucking around, and we played the song. We had never practiced it, whatever. We just ended up playing the whole song, and we finished, and we're like, okay, well, next game we're gonna play it because it's a crowd pleaser. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What song do
yeah.
you do by the Ruins, or what song did you end up playing?
Blitzkrieg Up. Oi, oh,
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
let's
somebody,
go.
Dave Meister just said Blitzkrieg. So yeah,
That's it. Yeah,
Blitzkrieg.
yeah. Dave Meister, he's the bassist, and
Yeah,
that's it. He makes a lot
awesome.
Oh,
of the
there he
lady.
is.
He's got the angel hair and all this nice. No, go look at their video clips. His hair's amazing.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of people jealous.
I feel insecure now. But then all right, so you covered the Ramones. Wow.
Yeah, out of left field.
Yeah, hey, that's awesome, man. And, I would have never even thought, listening to your stuff today, but yet you play the remote.
But we covered it, but we did it a la us, right? So, I mean, obviously, like, there's some double bass drum in that shit, and we were cranking it up a notch and stuff like that. And it made it, anyways, we had some fun with it. We ended up doing it during the tour and all this noise. So,
there's always... halfway through the show, bust out a cover that everybody loves. Fucking
exactly. Like I said, it's a crowd pleaser.
Up,
Exactly, and it's so fun to play too. It's one of those songs that just it comes so easily, and it's just so much fun to play. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, man. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, you're right.
I actually did an air band to the Ramones in high school.
Nice.
To David, yeah.
Not a lot of people cover the Ramones. I mean, like, people cover, like, the Rolling Stones, Pantera,
The Clad, Metallica.
Nirvana, the Ramones.
Or even Sex Pistols, right? No one ever played Sex Pistols,
We had a band at the rock contest called Below Sub-Zero, and they covered the Dead Kennedys, and I fucking love that for that. Nobody covers the Dead Kennedys, and that was just fuck. I'm a diehard DK fan too. So
which song of the Dead Kennedys?
They did Too Drunk to Fuck.
That's
awesome. Such a great track. It's such a great track. And then after it was like Holiday in Cambodia or something like that, like one of their classics. But yeah, I remember when they had played Too Drunk to Fuck, and I was screaming. I was running the cameras for the show, and I was screaming in my little fucking bucket.
Fuck, that's awesome, man.
Okay. So who was the first ever band that you were able to see live in concert?
That I ever saw live in concert. I mean, either from the local bands, those were my first shows. Were just really, like a couple of kids had rented out the local community center and organized a gig there, So no, the first big one. Who the fuck did I see? Fuck, it's so long ago. I don't remember who the fuck. I think it was like Megadeth. I'm pretty sure it was them. That were the first one. I saw them at Club Soda in Montreal. We're talking like fucking very early 2000s, if not, late 90s. So I think, No, it was, and it was such a small show. And I remember I had just come out of the mosh pits and trying to catch my breath because I was having a ball, and at some point I just ended up getting a body like right on my head, and it was somebody who was body surfing, and I didn't see it coming. So anyways, like my fucking neck snapped something awful. So I'm in the stairs in the Club Soda, and I'm holding up my head to try to watch the show because I ended up going back in the pits and all this noise. Came out there with a busted lip, and I was like, fuck, what a show that was. It was like so good. It was so good. And I was like, fuck, man, that's the standard. I want people to live that shit, Sean, every time they come to our gigs. That was the stuff I wanted to, give people.
Exactly, because
when you're on stage, you want some poor kid to have the same shit, same experience, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I keep saying it was a joke where, people pay good money to see a show. I want to see a show. I got a body to the back of the head, and I mean, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. I love that. I crave that almost. It's been so long since I've been elbowed in the face or kicked in the fucking knee, stomped on you, right? Like picked up because I fell over.
Yeah, fucking right, man.
Right?
Yeah, like right in the middle of a fucking mosh pit. I mean, I'm tiny. I'm like 5'1", and I don't even weigh 100 pounds. So you would just imagine like how it went when I went to see Manson, when I went to see Ramstein. I mean, after that, I'm like, okay, I think I'm still alive. I can still make it. But then I was almost every single bone in my body was broken, but then it was a mental thing. I mean, like, it literally gave me goosebumps, like, all over my body to be able to witness those bands. And it
Right.
was not physical pain at all. I mean, of course, holy shit, I got stepped on, kicked on, punched on, and whatever happened to
Yeah.
me a lot. Yeah, but then what really mattered was the whole experience.
Right, man. Yeah, no, and that's what we strive to do as a band. We want, there's some bands that obviously their shtick is, maybe something very progressive, so they want you to go through a story and a whole ambience and atmosphere and
Hmm.
whatever. We keep it simple. Us, we want you to have a good fucking time. We want it to have an intense time. And so say the subtleties of our music can be studied when you have an album in your hand. If you want to check out my lyrics, that I'm not just talking about boozing all the time, when like songs like War Machine or act like songs like War Machine, where my lyric, I'm actually a little more profound.
Mm.
So in fact, I'm a little bit more profound in my music in certain aspects. But I mean, you listen to songs like Raise Hell, where I mean it's a true story of just going crazy one night, and that's it.
Right.
That's awesome, man. I love
Yeah,
personal songs like that. A lot of mine are personal. My older songs are very personal, but very
right.
angry too, man. Like, but
Yeah,
my newer shit, I just play and I laugh while I'm playing it. Like
yeah,
totally
fucking A.
different, right? But
Yeah, fucking
really
A.
chilled
No,
now.
no, I hear that, and it's like I'll be I'm plugging our album again, and it's so we should be releasing it for September 18th, and as I said, it's going to be a 12-song LP, and you'll have a true sense of what we do for reals.
Awesome.
We're already working on some new gear, and we're just so stoked to get it out, because I mean, that new stuff that's coming is even heavier. We've got experience, and it shows, and we're evolving together, and it's adding new stuff to the whole mix of creation. But yeah, no, we're September
Hmm.
18th, Quartier de Lune. We're popping out our album, doing a big live show. The show's going to be
Fuck
broadcasted
yeah.
live online. Three bands. We're going to be with we're with Outlying, and we're going to be with the Last Dance
Oh,
Among
Outlying
Wolves.
were on the show not long. They're from Northern Quebec, man. Those guys
Yeah,
are fantastic, man.
yeah.
Great
They'll
bunch of guys.
be they're going to be opening us. They're going to be opening for pretty much the whole tour. Huh?
Fuck,
So
that's awesome.
yeah,
I
they're
know it's been a
following
while
us
since
everywhere.
they've done anything, so it's
Yeah,
nice to hear they're
exactly.
back together and getting out there and doing shit, right?
Fucking A.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, they're supposed to be joining us for, if not all of them. I think the only one they're not doing is going to be September Ottawa, because we're already fully booked. Huh? We're already like
Oh,
four or
Yeah,
that's
five
yeah.
bands.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, by the
exactly.
way,
Yeah.
I don't think Kevin was able to hear like the part of the show earlier where you said, I mean, where you made mention of the bands that you look up to. So right now he just texted me to ask, what are the bands that you look up to? He would like to know because he missed
Me?
it earlier.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. I'm not used to answering these questions. I'm usually on the other end, but yeah. Um, the
All
bands
good.
that I look up to for, like, in heavy metal, a lot of Slayer. I love their jive. I love what they do. Megadeth as well. I'm old school metal, especially Judas Priest from the early to the later years. I love it all. Fuck,
Yeah.
from British Steel all the way to fucking Firepower. Fuck it, just so good. Motorhead for real. I mean, obviously, I've got my big punk sides, Exploited, Cro-Mags, Dead Kennedys. Those are the bands that especially Dead Kennedys, for when that politics, that
Yeah.
really, topical intensity there. But when it comes to vocals and even just my guitar playing, Muddy Waters is like one of my top fucking influences. One of my
Oh,
fucking
Muddy
right.
I haven't heard that
Waters.
band
Yeah,
name in a while. So.
I'm a
Oh,
big
yeah.
blues fan. So Muddy Waters and fucking R.L. Burnside and these old blues guys those are the guys that I really look up to. That I mean, they
Right.
had a
I
hard
mean,
life and their music was good and they were trailblazers, and yeah, no, that would be. I'm gonna end the interview and I'm like, fuck, I should have said this and I should have said that, but that should
yeah,
be.
but Dave Meister definitely has something to say, and according to him, it is Metallica, Slayer, Testament, Motorhead, Iron Maiden.
That's it.
And I
Yeah, that
could
would
not,
be.
yeah, I could not agree with him more.
That's
That's
it.
just like,
Say
yeah,
there you
that's
go.
like an awesome, like,
Yeah, top five,
like
right?
awesome top
Yeah, I
five.
know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he did more than top three. He did like top five because really in the music industry, it's so hard to choose.
It
No,
is. There's
there's so
so
many
many,
good bands.
yeah, and years and of like different music that came out. Like '90s, you had
Right.
your grunge and stuff. '80s was all like metal, Slayer, and Pantera and
Yeah,
shit.
and like hair
'90s were
bands,
like
like
Guns N'
Yeah.
Roses and Nirvana and Pearl Jam and shit, right? Like,
And you had your speed and
Chris
your thrash and
Cornell.
your black and your
yeah,
death and your prog and your no.
I know. I just call it metal now. It's like I just
Yeah,
tell
right,
her, just
exactly.
fucking metal to me, man.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like
It's an umbrella term, right? So
yeah,
Yeah, it's just like okay, metal,
yeah,
R and
just
B.
rains down awesomeness everywhere.
yeah.
You know, like,
And
fuck.
you've got rock as a
Not to
parent.
kill the show though, but I
But
do have to be up pretty fucking early tomorrow for another
no, that's
12-hour
good.
shift again.
Seriously,
So.
again, thank you so much for having me on. This was an honor to be to talk with you
Oh,
guys, to
dude,
talk
you
with you both.
It was so nice to meet you.
fantastic
Really.
guest.
Cheers.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's honored. I'm happy to hear your music today too, man. I'll be sharing up that a lot more, by the way, on my
Oh
story as
yeah, without a
usual. Like,
doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
please send me a
yeah,
link later on.
I'm going to plug myself one last time.
yeah,
Yes.
September 18th, Cartidon, Quebec City. We're releasing our new album, our 12-song LP. Find us Lancaster Metal on Facebook. We're going on tour the whole autumn season. We're probably in a city near you at some point. So hit us up. Find us on Facebook if you want some merch. Hit us up on Facebook. Yeah, write us. We're usually easy to find. Snow by and we'll see you at the live shows again. Thank you both for having me on, man.
awesome, man.
Oh, thank you
And
so much. It
once you're
was such
done
a
the
pleasure
little
to meet you.
tour, I would love to have you guys back on again, and we'll talk about the road trip and what places you played, the bands you played with, and cover all that. That'd be awesome,
Yeah,
man,
that'd
if
be
you'd like
wild.
Yeah,
to
That'd
that'd
be
come
be
wild
back.
for
really
sure.
exciting.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
As always, Roxy, thank you. It was so lovely to see you again. Looking gorgeous as always. And play it loud, play it proud, people. Let me see if
Play
I
loud,
can
play
end the show
proud.
today.
That's it.
Oh, it worked.